So one of the things that NIH did first, and some of you may be familiar with this, but some may not, is from the beginning, they realized that the recruitment of communities of color in particular was going to be a challenge. And so what they did was they really sort of repurposed their HIV vaccine trials network, which had a history of community engagement and the capacity to do that, to focus on COVID vaccine and monoclonal antibody trials. And so they have a pretty extensive community engagement, community education plan. One of the things they did right away was convene expert panels. One that's Latinx, one Black, African American, one Indigenous people, and one older adults. I serve on the older adults panel. And those panels were charged with reviewing and hearing from the PI or the sponsor for the trials, reviewing the protocols, reviewing the informed consent forms, and providing written feedback to the drug companies and also NIH on those trials. And so early on, the questions that we were grappling with were things like, they did not necessarily specify a percent of a racial or ethnic group. They did not specify what older adults meant. And if they did, it was often, well, age 65. But there's a dramatic difference between a 65-year-old and a 75 or an 80-year-old. So the panels, we all worked together as one, but the panels were able to say, okay, here are some of the things you need to do to address that. We looked at the protocols, the demands on the participants. We also looked at the informed consent. And, those I think were the most, I mean, many of them were 25 pages long, as you might imagine, and pretty complex. So the panels had a role in really helping the sponsors and the PIs think about recruitment, change their recruitment strategies, change their informed consent.